Good morning, Dr. Rose. This is Solomon from the Data Analytics class, MIT Year 1. Nachivuka Sanyi Solomon. So this is, I got a data set from Kego, and this data was from the previous loan applicants. It was going to be used in the future by AI to detect if the loan applicant should be given that loans or they should be rejected. So this is the information: married, not married, education status, loan amount, and all this. So this was my data file with all this information about loan applicants, their status, property, credit history, loan, self-employed, dependents, are they married, and loan ID. So I imported this data in Kego, I used Tableau. So we're going to import our data file. It is a CSV file, loan data file. So we are going to wait for it to be imported. So here it has been imported with all these fields: loan ID, gender, married, dependents, education, and the loan status. So here we are. I had lots of questions earlier when starting to find out how many of the loan applicants have a loan status for no or yes. Do they stay in rural areas or urban areas? What is their credit history? You see, some have a zero, some have a one, some now. So I wanted to still find out, are they, what gender takes the most loans? Are they male or female? Are they married, not married? How many dependents do they have? So with all those questions, some of the information could not be derived through that data as it is as a raw file. So I had to use calculated fields. And for calculated fields, you're using formulas so that you can get the information that you want. And once you get the information that you want, it moves from the tables, then comes down here to be used as measures. So my data, I started with those that had acquired a loan, those that had a loan status of yes or no. If loan status is equal to Y, then 1, else 0, and end. So this is it. It's giving us the number of the people that the output of this will be the number of those that have a loan status Y. And a brief is here, 270. That is what it generated. Then I had to do the same for those that had no loan. If loan status is equal to N, then 1, else 0. So this is it. So I did the same for gender. If gender is equal to F, then 1, else 0, so that it gives me the number of females that had taken a loan. I did the same for the male. If loan status is, if gender is equal to M, male, then 1, else 0. So it gives you the figure, the number it gives you is for all males whose status, whose gender is male. So then I did the same for graduated, not graduated. If education is equal to not graduated, then 1, else 0. So here it is behind the calculated fields. Graduate, if education is equal to graduated, then 1. So this is what I used. So then the percentage, I did the same for the percentage. I wanted to find out the percentage of those that acquired a loan against those that didn't acquire. I used the acquired and not acquired against the total number. So for me to get the total number, I first used the acquired, not acquired. I used the total. sum, I use the sum of acquired loan plus sum of not acquired. So that is the method behind our calculated fields. This is it, no loan. Then for my percentage, because now I knew those that had acquired a loan, those that not acquired, I knew the total number of loan applicants that I had. I used my total, this is those that had acquired a loan, 270 divided by 376 times, yes. So this figure, percentage, earlier it was giving us a figure that was, the answer was that it was a decimal. So because it had qualified to be among the measures now, I had to click format, and from numbers, I didn't want numbers. Let's take it to numbers and you see what I had. You see the numbers I had a 0.71. I didn't want that. I wanted a percentage. So I selected percentage and it gave me percentage. So that is pretty much. Then from there, this was my first table, my first graph to be generated. Wanted to find out how many males against females that have acquired loans, whose status that have acquired loans. So this is it. From what we see that the gender, the male acquired more loans than the females. The females. The females. Then we see that those that are not acquired alone, the male were 211 that had acquired loans, whereas the female were 519. Then when you come to the those that not acquired alone, the male still had a higher number not acquired loans as compared to the females. From there, I went ahead and continued to find out the credit history against gender. How many males have had a good credit history as compared to the males, and how many of those males are married, and how many of those are not married? Maybe there are more reasons why the married male were taking more loans. So here, the biggest percentage was for males, but when you hover, there is a line, and this line is giving you a percentage of those that are not married. Not married, you see, married, no. So same to female, much as the female were less, the female were with a credit history were 44. So among those, 17 were married. So meaning that the unmarried females were taking more loans than the married. Yeah, then I came and wanted to find out how many of these loan applicants, where do they stay? Do they stay in urban areas, semi-urban areas, or rural? So here I used a line graph, and from what we see here, those that stay in the rural, our loan applicants that stay in rural areas were 78. Those that stay in semi-urban are 119, and those that stay in urban areas are 97. So this means that among our loan applicants, the highest number of those that could take loans that have a good credit history stay in semi-urban areas. Then I went ahead and computed the education. How many of these that have a credit history are graduated or not graduated? So from what you see here, the graduated class had 215, meaning that 215 are graduate, have a good, from our data that was collected, had a good credit history as compared to those that were not graduated. Then I had to draw a dash for the dashboard. It puts everything in on one page. So for all the worksheets that I created, I was able to generate a dashboard. So dashboard was empty, but I was able to use a picture which I downloaded just to give a feel of our data. So this is the picture. And how did I get it? I clicked image, then a pop-up appeared here that I had to customize, and then made the image fill in here. So this is the image, property, all the properties of that image. I chose where it was. It was in downloads. I called it loan. This is it. I opened. Then after I customized it and made sure that it fits my working space. So I started adding first. We have summary. So right clicked and then add to dashboard. All those, right click the sheet and add to dashboard. Right click the sheet. So for all those that are added to the sheet, have a tick on them, a blue tick. Yes. So by default, when you add anything here, it brings it with a white background. For instance, if this is it, if this is our, you see, it would bring it with a white background. So I wanted everything, all the worksheets to inherently take the background image, the background of our background image. So I had to change that to, I had to change this to none so that it can go back to white. All these were changed to none so that they can inherently take our background image. Then you can also change the colors of your text. You can change the size. By default, it comes with a font size of 9, but I changed mine to 10. So if we increase it to 15, I'm not seeing the effect, right? If we increase this to 15, for instance, let's give it a color. All right, so this has already changed. The 15 I was looking for has already changed the tooltip. All right. So when you by default, it is 9 ppt, but if you're changing it, you see how this looks big? It's already, it looks big already. So wanted a size that can be read. So it give it 10. Then the title, if you've noticed the difference, our font size for this column is big. So I will change it back to 9. That even when you hover, it's pretty small. So same to colors. You can change your colors. Change the colors of these from black to a different color. So that is it. Then did all that, made sure everything inherently takes up the background of our image. And this is the full dashboard. That is the dashboard. Thank you. That's the end of